going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, doing a little film room on Arthur Smith's offense. Gonna go over a popular passing concept that I've seen come up quite a bit when just studying his offense over the past several days since the Steelers named him offensive coordinator. So I kind of wanted to show you guys some of the different stuff that I'm coming across. Been tweeting out some stuff on Twitter, but wanted to kind of make a video on this one in particular. We're going to be going over the sail concept today. I'm going to show you guys a bunch of different plays, different examples, particularly because I think one of the biggest questions that I've been getting a lot on Twitter is, are you concerned about the usage of Kyle Pitts? What's this mean for Pat Freiermuth? Just generalized questions about Smith's passing game, because I think, his run game stuff with the wide zone and all that is pretty well documented, but the passing game stuff, I feel like a lot of people know a lot less about, including myself, which is why I've spent the past, 72 hours or so really trying to learn more about it. So just before we get into some of these plays, show you guys some examples, just don't forget, like the video, subscribe, comment, all that stuff is greatly appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Let's get to it. All right, so this first example that we're going to go over is from last year against the Texans. Kind of a good, really basic example of what I kind of classify as sail. Some people may classify this as a true flood concept. Some people would say that they are the same. Really depends on kind of where you learn your stuff. But, the Falcons are coming out right here. They're actually in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. But they've actually got Bijan Robinson, the running back, split out up top, and the tight end in the backfield. Smith likes to use like a bunch of like formational manipulation stuff like that. One thing to note is Smith does like to use heavy personnel, a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets. Kyle Pitts right here is working as the number 2 receiver in the slot, and he's going to be running the sail route. So let's talk about what the sail concept is first and foremost. Really, to me, sail is typically you get a vertical clear out from the number 1 receiver. This usually is like some type of streak or 9 route. Sometimes you may get a post. Sometimes you may get kind of a double move back to the corner. But really the objective right there, he's the kind of the alert on the play. You're just asking him to kind of clear that side of the field out while you flood the other zones. He's the deep player in this 3-man concept, which is what I typically refer to sail as. And then you've got Kyle Pitts, the number 2 receiver right here, running the sail concept. You see him stem inside originally before bending this thing back out. I think most offenses classify or want this sail route run at about 12 to 15, 16 yards. The sail is kind of a in between a out and a corner, but the route itself, you can see Pitts at the top of this thing. Usually you'll get a head fake right there, maybe at the top of the break. But really, this thing gets rounded off towards the sideline for the quarterback to throw into that open void. And then really the third layer of what I would classify as sail is kind of this underneath control player in the flat. And you'll really see a good example of why that's really important and why I like 3-person sail better than like, for example, just like 2-man sail. Because you'll see Robinson come in motion on that orbit motion behind the quarterback. You see what this does to this number 53 player. He is the curl flat defender. So when you get these cover 3 looks, which the Falcons see cover 3, they saw cover 3 more than any other offense in the league last year, over 50%, which is astronomically high. But this is a good route combination for cover 3 because really you want to locate that curl flat or that curl flat defender, because if he gets pulled up towards, that flat with the running back, you're going to open up all that space behind him to kind of just lob this ball right in. The free safety in the middle of the field, he's got to come quite a bit of ways in order to kind of close on this thing and make a play at the catch point. You can tell Ritter when this ball's coming out, he's got to, go 6-7 yards to even make this a hit. So kind of a good generalized viewpoint of what sail is. And then we'll talk about some other variations, kind of how things differ on some of the other plays later in the video. All right, next play we're going to look at another 12 personnel look. Going to motion Pitts over to the other side. Motion is another big element of Smith's offense. Top 10 in the league in motion rate. Really nice variation right here. So we're going to get the play fake off the toss on second down right here before Ritter takes his drop. This is going to be 3 people up at the top of the screen, but you still see the clear out from the number 1 receiver. That's actually going to be a post this time. And then you've got, and let's talk a little bit about the clear out. So the clear out right here, using this as a post, is actually like my preferred way, I think, of doing it. Because if you get some type of quarters or some type of cover zero look, pressure look, I think that post is a really good option to alert pre-snap. If you know you're getting that type of look based on leverage and things like that, you might be able to hit a big play over the top right there. Now, they're actually going to do it a little differently on this play. The number 2 receiver is going to run this kind of wheel route, a little double move, look back at the quarterback, go up the sideline. And then they're going to use Kyle Pitts kind of in line as the number 3 receiver on the sail. So you see him stem inside a little bit. He's kind of slow playing this. And I think that's really by design, right, for timing purposes, because you want to allow that receiver to kind of clear the space, and you want to make sure that you're not running yourself into trouble. And also it's on the quarterback to make sure that he gets the ball out on time and throws with anticipation, because you don't want to run him into any of these zone defenders that are looking back at the ball. So really nice variation right there. Like I said, we still got the flat player, the constraint player for the curl, but on second long or whatever, they may not be as concerned about that type of player. But another good example of what I was talking about with just the 12 personnel, the heavy looks and stuff. You force defenses, a lot of coordinators kind of respond with these really static, really basic looks. And I think cover 3 is just, NFL coordinators will tell you, or play callers, college, every level will tell you, like, cover 3 is the easiest coverage to throw the ball against, even though it's, still really popular in the league. Like Mike Leach used to say, everything works against cover 3. And the sail concept is a really good answer. Really nice throw here from Ritter with some pressure in his face. Right on the face mask. Again, that's just another benefit of having like these tight ends like a Pitts or a Freiermuth that are good enough athletes to get down the field and create some explosive plays, but they're also, big frame targets to where, you can throw the ball up a little bit, let them take a hit, come down with a big play. So, all right, we got 3rd and long right here for the Falcons near midfield. Get a little return motion for Kyle Pitts, get that little, trying to get that man zone indicator. Really good job here, I think, by the quarterback, recognizing the coverage, get a pressure look, get the ball out on time. This variation is a little bit different. This is kind of more like 2-man sail. You're going to get the clear out. This time it's going to come from the number 2 receiver. And then number 1, you've got a tight end lined up out there, and he's just going to run like kind of what I would classify as a now slant. He's just going to immediately come underneath. That's a good answer. Like if you get some type of hot, I think, to make sure you get the ball out. But I like this aggressive throw right here because, make sure this ball is out with anticipation. Again, another really nice throw with pressure in his face. But I think there's advantages just to putting a guy like Kyle Pitts or like a receiving tight end like him or Freiermuth as the number 3 to the trip side, because you're going to force defenses to give you these like really advantageous matchups. You're seeing a lot of coordinators nowadays moving their best weapon into this number 3 spot. Just because you look at what happens right here, they're playing just cover 1. They don't have a whole player, but this linebacker is going to drop out, at the line of scrimmage. I think that's really reckless. And then going to try to run with Kyle Pitts on the sail. And, that's a mismatch, but a good way to kind of take advantage of that is just using this concept. So another really big play on 3rd down, big conversion, another explosive through the air. All right, I want to show you guys a couple clips for some other games that I pulled as well. Like I said, I watched like 5 or 6 games over the past couple of days. Really like this variation. Typically, this one pops wide open for a couple different reasons. One of the things about Arthur Smith's offense that I think is going to be something that Steelers fans really like is just, the use of play action. That's just been something that's been notably missing from the Steelers over the past, decade or so. So you get this hard play action. You look at what this does to even the corner up here at the top of the screen. I mean, he comes flying up to defend the run, and you kind of get the exact same motion right there. You have that flat player, and then also you got the run fake, so it pulls him all the way up to the 30. You see Pitts, working, just kind of slow playing this, bending it back outside, all that open space, man. Again, this is probably my favorite variation if you can run it like this. See the tight splits. Again, I like running it with the post with the number 1 receiver because I think it gives you better options just depending on, if you do get some type of zero or quarters. But, I mean, this is wide open. These are schemed up throws in explosive plays. I mean, this thing hits for over 20 yards. This is kind of just a point and shoot read really for the quarterback. And like I said, normally the clear out's kind of the alert. You just work this thing top down. Pitts is really the new number 1 in the progression, and then you kind of work it to the flat, from there if it's not open. But really they had a lot of success generating explosive plays just off this similar concept. All right, so I really wanted to show this one different defensive look right here against the Saints. Kind of what I was talking about with the quarters stuff. The Saints are a heavy man-to-man team as well. But this is actually a variation that we showed earlier, right? The 3x1, you're going to get this kind of underneath route. This isn't necessarily like a now slant. This is more of kind of a fin, this underneath. But again, you get this clear out from the number 2 receiver, and then you're going to have Pitts running the sail from the number 3 spot down to the corner. Now, this variation is a little bit different just in terms of how it plays out, but it kind of does go along with what I was saying earlier about some of the advantages of putting a tight end or putting, a really good receiving threat or playmaker in the number 3 spot, because you see the matchup it gives them, right? Like they get this linebacker type on Pitts one-on-one, and that's a matchup that they like and something I think that the Steelers could exploit with Freiermuth a little bit too. So, you get that one-on-one. Now, typically, if it is man or you feel like you're getting some type of man coverage, you'll want to break this a little bit sharper, and I think that's why his angle looks a little bit different. Like it almost seems like originally like he's going to break this out like a hard out route instead of more of that kind of sail. But you see him kind of drifting upfield. Now, this could be a myriad of different things. I'm going to chalk it up to just chemistry between the quarterback and the receiver, just knowing where this ball is going to end up getting placed. But absolutely an excellent throw and another big-time catch. And this is something they went to in no huddle, so I think that's interesting to note as well. You see Ritter calling the play out, using some hand signals. So this is definitely something they can get to when they want to get to, when they have to throw the ball in these drop-back situations. So big play right there. All right, so that's it for me today on the film room stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, but drop me a comment. Let me know what y'all thought just of the video in general. If this is, some of the stuff y'all want me to continue going over on the channel, doing a little bit deeper of a dive into Arthur Smith's offense, so I can give you guys a better, general understanding on what to expect, when the Steelers, start to play football again in the fall. But, I definitely will say just over the past couple of days, watching his offense, like the drop back stuff is fairly simplistic, but I do think that, it is a step in the right direction, just in terms of like where the Steelers have been over the past couple of years from a schematic standpoint. I do think that there are, positives and negatives to his system, but I think with the right set of personnel, this could potentially work. And I'm excited to learn a new offense. It's definitely going to be a different type of environment, for a lot of the players, but also for the fans. Like this is totally different from what we've seen in years past. So again, just drop me a like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this stuff going forward. And I will check you guys next time. Peace and love.